Hello, I am Jamie. I'm the host of the Neurodivergent Nurse podcast. But today you found yourself on the YouTube channel of the Neurodivergent Nurse. This is a corner where we're going to start chipping away at things that neurotypicals find very easy. But with our neurodivergent brains, it just seems overwhelming at times, and it just is something that maybe we even avoid doing altogether because we just don't know how to do it, and it gives us such strong anxiety. This originated on my Instagram account, the Neurodivergent Nurse, and I brought questions from 3 followers, and that's where we're going to start with all of this. So thanks for joining, and let's hop in. The very first one that I'm going to talk about, Counter Crepe, asked how to tell housekeeping not to go into my room on vacation. I have some real problems with my stuff being touched or someone in my space. And I know that there's probably a way, but I've never been told. Also, when you go into a restaurant that has non-American food, do you pronounce it the way that it's supposed to be pronounced or like an American, like I do? Well, Counter Crepe, let's start with the first question about how to keep housekeeping from going into your room when you're on vacation. A lot of times hotels have do not disturb cards that you hang on the door. If you use that card and you put it on the outside of your door whenever you're gone, then housekeeping, they won't even knock on your door to ask you if you want or need your room cleaned, or if you want or need more towels. And now a lot of times hotels, they're trying to go more green, so they're not going to bring you new towels every day anyways. You could just keep that placard on your door, and if you find yourself needing new sheets, new towels, new whatever, you can just call down to the front desk and request it, and somebody will bring it up to you, or you can go down and fetch it from there. Piece of cake. I hope that helps. Okay, your second question. Your second question was, when you go to a restaurant, that has non-American food, do you pronounce it the way that it's supposed to be pronounced or like an American? If it gives you anxiety to pronounce it like an American, I understand if you don't want to do that. A lot of times though, if I really honestly have no idea on how to pronounce it or how it's supposed to be pronounced, or I feel like they're going to judge me because I say it incorrectly, what I will do is, when I decide what I want, we're going to pretend like this cool Las Vegas card is a menu. So what I'll do is, when I figure out what I want to order, when the waiter or the waitress comes up, I'll say, you know what, I'll take that. And typically the wait staff, they'll say, oh, quesadilla. So if you didn't know how to pronounce it, maybe you do now for the next time. Sometimes I'll even say, I don't know how to say this, but this is what I want. I've never had a negative experience in my 37 years going about it that way. I've never felt judged because typically they're like, oh, okay, you want this. And they write it down and my order is correct. So try that out. Let me know how it works. The second question comes from Michaela R. Michaela R asks, how do you ask for designs when you go get your nails done? Like, I've actually been thinking about this for years. Well, Michaela, before, whenever I would go get a design, like a pedicure, I would just say, hey, can you do a design for me? Can you make a butterfly? But that was years ago, and now they do much more intricate things. So I'm thinking, why don't I just call and find out and let you listen from a nail place, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna call a nail salon and I'm gonna put it on speakerphone, so hopefully you can hear it. Maybe they're busy. Hi, I have a question. If I want to get a certain design on my nails, how do I go about doing that? Do I need to bring in a picture or just describe it to someone when I come in?
You can bring a picture, that'd be better.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, you're welcome.
Bye. Okay, so if you couldn't hear, the person who answered said, bring in a picture, that would be best. So that's something they're used to getting, are pictures of what you want your fingernails or toenails to look like for a particular design. So good luck. I hope that it's someone that actually does a great job, but you can use your photos to start figuring out who does do the best job of replicating what you want. I hope that helps. Now, the very last one. I love this one because it was an issue that I have had for so many years. VC Washington Horses wrote, anytime I have to use an automated calling system thing, because sometimes I listen to it and I'm like, wait, which one do I press? Or it takes me too long to put in the numbers and I have to start over. So I just avoid it at all costs. Even if it means shoving the phone into someone's hand last second. I don't know. It just always stresses me out. Could you maybe show us how to prepare for these? Totally. I have terrible short-term memory, number one. Number two, I get a lot of anxiety whenever I make phone calls. I hate making phone calls so much. But for you, I'm gonna do it. What I highly recommend you do is grab a scratch piece of paper. I have Post-its right here. And I'm gonna show you what I do whenever I make a call and that has a lot of options. I'm just gonna choose like a random place. And just like the last one, I'm gonna put it on speakerphone and hopefully you can hear it.
Thank you for calling Harris Teeter. Please visit harristeeter.com/COVID-care for the most up-to-date information regarding COVID-19 vaccine eligibility and availability.
Now, I start getting a little anxious if I'm not getting to it fast enough.
Our menu options have changed.
Which is why this
For
is important.
store hours, directions, or pharmacy, press 1. For pizza, deli, and bakery, press 2. For customer service, online shopping, or employment opportunities, press 3. For the floral and produce department, press 4. For the meat and seafood department, press 5. For the manager on duty, press 6. For any department not listed, press 3. To repeat these options, press 8.
Okay, so I missed number 3 whenever I wrote this down.
Thank you for calling Harris Teeter.
So what I'm going to do
Please
is I'm going to
visit
listen back through it one more time and just focus
harristeeter.com/COVID-care
on number
for the
3.
most up-to-date information regarding COVID-19 vaccine eligibility and
I'm going to look through this, but I know if I needed to get in touch with the pharmacy, I would have already pressed 1. But I want to be sure I don't need number 3.
Directions or pharmacy, press 1. For pizza, deli, and bakery, press 2. For customer service, online shopping, or employment opportunities, press 3. For the floor.
Okay, and so like I said, even if it was something that while she was calling it out that I knew that I wanted, then I could have just gone ahead and pressed what I needed. But, you know, I like to take a note of what each option was as I'm listening to it and wondering if that's the one for me. Now, if I wasn't really sure, if there was something that I wanted on here and it wasn't very clear to me or super clear to me, I would choose the one that I would think was the closest. It would make me a little bit anxious thinking that maybe I didn't make the right selection. What I would do in that situation is as soon as they answer, I would say, hey, this is Jamie. I'm not really sure which choice I was supposed to select. So I guess this one, if I'm wrong, you can transfer me to where I need to go, but it sounded best to me. I was really trying to get in touch with someone where I could apply for a job at your store. So I thought that it was customer service, but I wasn't sure if it was that or other. Could you help me with this? Never had a bad experience whenever they said, no, yep, I can actually just put you right through to talk to the person that can help you out with that, okay? Hold on just a second. Piece of cake. So that's going to do it for today's / this week's episode. I hope you subscribe. And I hope this helps you out with navigating through a neurotypical world. If you have something that you want me to cover, which I have a lot so far, be sure to leave a comment or you can just tag it, share it with someone else who you think could benefit from this. And as I read through the comments, if I see one that I think that I could help you out with, I'll be happy to cover it on this channel. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and let me know if it helps.